this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a glorious day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Johnstalworth. He is a retired professional football player, and he has not disappointed the Black American community. So let me tell you a little bit about Johnstalworth. Johnstalworth was born July 15th, 1952 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, a town I'm familiar with. He went to the public schools in Tuscaloosa. Upon graduation from the famous Druid High School, he entered Alabama A&M University, which is an HBCU. There he played football for the Alabama A&M Bulldogs. He was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1974 as a fourth-round draft pick. He was very successful in professional football. He played in 6 AFC Championship games and 4 Super Bowls, winning all 4. So he was playing to win. This is what he has to say about himself as a young player on the Pittsburgh Steelers team. He said, "I made up my mind I was not going to play and make a little money and then wonder what happened to it." Armed with his business degree from Alabama A&M, he returned each off-season to Huntsville, where his wife Flo, son John Jr., and daughter Natasha lived year-round and experimented, earning licenses to sell insurance and real estate and developing apartment complexes while earning his MBA. This is him with his young family when he was a football player. He married his college sweetheart, and they are still together. Along the way, Starrworth met Sam Hazer, a retired engineer, through their kids' soccer league. They talked about the burgeoning defense and missile industry in Huntsville, and in 1986, the year before he retired from the Steelers, they created Madison Research Corporation, which provided services, made parts, and developed software for the government. Working out of Starrworth's home, Madison Research earned its first small contract with the Anniston Army Depot for 2 pieces of hardware for an M1 tank in 1987, then gradually blossomed. In 1980, the Johnstalworth Foundation was created by John and Flo Starrworth to provide merit-based scholarships to deserving students attending their alma mater, Alabama A&M University. The foundation hosts an annual golf tournament to raise money for scholarships. Beginning in the fall of 2013, the foundation began granting scholarships to students attending other universities in the state of Alabama. So he and his wife are supporting higher education in the state of Alabama. Since its inception, the foundation has awarded over $500,000 in scholarship awards, thereby allowing numerous students to realize their dream of obtaining a college education. Madison Research Corporation, the company that Johnstalworth co-founded with Sam Hazer, became one of the nation's top IT companies. In 2006, they sold the company for $69 million cash. So I'll say for a company that started out as a 2-man operation, that's a pretty good payday. Also, it's important to add that Johnstalworth includes his wife Flo in all of his business endeavors and transactions. And I'm making this assumption because her name is on the board of directors of all of his companies. Now let's get to the big stuff. A few days ago, Johnstalworth delivered the commencement address to the graduating class at Alabama A&M University. During the undergraduate ceremony, he shared valuable life lessons, emphasizing that life, much like football, is shaped by highlights and lowlights. He encouraged the class of 2024 to embrace all experiences as they contribute to personal growth. I agree with that. In addition to his inspiring words, Starrworth made a significant impact by presenting a generous donation of over $1.2 million to his alma mater in support of student scholarships. His commitment to education and giving back exemplifies the spirit of Alabama A&M University. That's what somebody else wrote, but this is what I have to say. When John Starrworth was drafted into the NFL in 1974, they weren't making the big money like they're making now. They weren't giving out those big contracts. So they had to play during the season, and then the off season they had to work. They had to get jobs. In his case, his wife was college educated, and so she was working and building their business. But he didn't make the big money. But he determined early on that he wasn't going to throw away the money that he did make. So he didn't go out there and marry some flashy woman who was going to stay with him for a few years, and then when he retired from football, get what she could and bounce. He married someone from his own culture and background, somebody that he's still with and has built a successful life with. It is important, and really important, to be able to give somebody $1 million in cash, because that's really what he's doing. And Yvette Carnell pointed that out a few days ago. You might have a lot of money, but it's tied up in real estate and in bonds and different kinds of stocks, and trying to get your hands on $1 million out, liquid money is not an easy thing to do. So to be able to guarantee a $1 million donation to your alma mater, that is quite remarkable. And also, I mentioned a few days ago about this black man who was talking about black athletes who married black women, and naturally he was demeaning and degrading black women, talking about how good use white women would put the money to use, and we know that's a lie. But that black woman would be worried about him and chasing him down to see what women he was with, as opposed to trying to manage the money. So that anyway, that we know that's a lie, but it speaks to the fact that there are black men who do move wisely in life, make wise decisions. I'm not saying you shouldn't marry somebody from another race. I'm saying if you want to give back to your own race, it is easier and better to marry somebody from your own racial background. Because we see what's happening with the money that black men have made and given to white women in divorces. They're not putting anything into the black community. It's important to be able to sponsor a summer camp for children who are deserving but who may not have the money to attend a camp. It's important to offer scholarships to deserving students who may not have a chance to go to college otherwise. And regardless of what all of these people are saying about going to college, it does make a difference in your life. Now, if you're not going to go to college to study and to study in an area where you can find employment and make a decent living for yourself, then it may not be to your advantage to go to college. But black people who go to college still fare better than the ones who don't, for the most part. College educated black people still fare better than those that are not. In the society that we work in, you cannot be too prepared. You can't be over-prepared, because the jobs for the people who are not prepared are going to go to somebody other than a black person. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, this is a black man who played by the rules, who got it right, and this is one of the times that we can speak well of a black athlete. And this man has stood the test, because he's 70-something years old, still with his wife, still living in Alabama, still living in the town that gave him a chance, and didn't forget his community, his college, and the people who helped him to get to the next step in life. And the last thing I'm going to say that may not sit well with some, but I'm going to say it anyway. This white man, Sam Hazer, saw something in Johnstalworth that made him want to partner with him, build a business with him, that they built together and made successful. Johnstalworth exhibited something that you don't often see in black athletes. That is a black man who is grounded in family life, who has respect for himself, for the people that helped him, because in his biography, he talks about the people in Tuscaloosa that helped him to get to Alabama A&M. He didn't forget those people. And along the way, he made friends, white and black, people who respected him and that he respected. And they respected him because he respected himself. White men don't typically like to partner and co-partner with black men because they don't trust them. And you can read what white people say about black men if you think I'm lying. But when they see a black man like this, and it does happen occasionally, that they see the person is talented. Johnstalworth had name recognition. He had the respect of the community, and they were able to build something that made both of them very rich. I know that there are a lot of people who like to believe that the racial relationships have changed and we're all the same and nobody sees color. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. And a black man who is married to a black woman who is serious about life and grounded in family, church, and community is the black man who's going to fare the best in the society that we live in. That's just how it is. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.